Hello everyone, welcome to Cover 2 TV. I'm Steve Horde, this is Chris Pajak, this is Tom Jennings, and we're here back from our little 2-week break where we all had holidays and work and family commitments to record in this boiling hot studio that we're currently in. It is very, very hot.
We've had to stop once to open the door.
It
hasn't done anything really.
It didn't have the desired effect, but
I was thinking, you know, backdraft type of.
It is nothing, Steve. So if you see the sweat glistening off our heads in the next 30 minutes or so, it's because we're melting. There's people watching this from America who are like, it's like 20 degrees, what are you sweating? Honestly, we're not used to this.
It's Liverpool, mate.
We are not at all used to this.
I may cease to exist soon.
It is really. There's sweat just pouring down my head as soon as I've got no hair to catch it, it's fine. So yeah, before our little break, we've done a show where we looked at the quarterbacks in the league, we've looked at the wide receivers in the league. The logical step was running backs, so that's what we're going to do today, talk about the different running backs in the league, how we think they're going to perform in the next year, etc, etc. We started the wide receiver show off by doing our top 5 rankings, so we're going to do the same here, knock on like a bit of continuity, Chris. You found this quite difficult to pick your top 5.
I really did, and you know why? It was the rookies from last season that made me really sort of second guess myself, and you know, I really started to think about like, where does Hunt and Kamara lie in this, and you know, they're not traditional running backs as you would call them, because they're not those brutes that can just plough through men, but you know, they're very much pass catchers. So I found it really difficult to find out where they're going to rank in future seasons as well. I mean, going into this year, can you almost bottle lightning twice with some of these lads? Are they going to be able to do this consistently like someone like an LT did for years before time caught up with him? So yeah, I found it really difficult. I think there's probably 3 or 4 names that I guess all of us would have.
Go on. Well, it gives you a 5 to 1.
Okay. Gurley
is
number 1. Number 1, yeah. Then I'm probably looking at. Oh, fucking hell, I forgot my second already. Left Bell, number 2. Number 3 would be David Johnson. Number 4, Zeke Elliott. And number 5 is my controversial one where I've gone Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, well, John, do yours? Do you know there's some names I imagine that are...
Yeah, so from starting number 5, I went LaShawn McCoy.
A 5.
Yeah, 4 Elliott, 3 Gurley, 2 Johnson, 1 Bell.
And then I went 1 Johnson, 2 Bell, 3 Elliott, 4 McCoy, 5 Gurley. So we're all there or thereabouts. Obviously different orders and stuff, but we kind of got a similar 4 or 5. It was only Elliott and McCoy and Fournette who were slightly different. Chris, you mentioned before about the old type of back. That's what the kind of Fournette is. If you look at these new guys, you said they're not traditional backs, but they're almost becoming the new thing that you have to be. You need to be a big guy who can pass block, who can catch, who can run. Leonard Fournette's kind of the old school running back who, to be fair, everyone knows the game plan.
That's why I like him so much though. That's what makes a good game plan. When you know what the opposition are going to be able to do and you still can't stop them, that's absolutely brilliant. I think he missed, was it 2 games through injury last season? He probably played on with a I can't remember what injury, was it a leg injury or something?
And he wasn't ever
thigh injury.
He wasn't fit the whole time for sure.
And he still was ranking up yards and still able to break tackles and stuff. That's the type of running back that I really prefer to watch. You know, guys who are just going to bruise through people and trample them and carry on downfield regardless. I mean, I was brought up on AP, wasn't I? You know, that's exactly the type of running back that he was for so many years. And I think with the quarterback in Jacksonville and knowing that Fournette's coming at you, he stacked the box, you still can't stop him. That's why he broke my top 5. Yeah,
absolutely. And I consider putting him in there, but because I think he can pass catch to an extent. I don't think he's great at it. I think he can do it.
Serviceable.
Yeah, which
maybe,
fine.
Yeah.
But the main thing with him is, like you say, everyone knows what's going to happen. It's 4 yards in a cloud of dust, but he's quite happy to do that, and he's quite happy to take contact. He's quite physical, which might, again, how long he lasts, time will tell. Shady McCoy made both of our lists. He's getting on a little bit now, but I thought I couldn't leave him out of my eyes. I think like he is so special that he had to be a man. Why did you put him in yours?
Because he was responsible for like 60% of Buffalo's offense. It was ridiculous. Pretty much everything Buffalo do went through Shady McCoy. I think again, it's partly due to him being part of the small market and a team that no one really cares about. I know Bills Mafia's a massive fan base, but outside of that Bills Mafia, no one cares what the Bills do because they just haven't been relevant. So people ignore how good Shady's been since he went to Buffalo. I think it's a lot what I was talking about with AJ Green and the wide receiver show. Sometimes you're just stuck in a team that mainstream media doesn't care about. But if you tell me who would drop out of my list next year, I think Shady. I think Shady's one of those people who he just made my 5. There was other people like Kamara, Hunt, even Fournette that I considered. I even considered what Saqoun Barkley might be, and to think should just throw him straight in the top 5 because he's got that kind of potential. But I've still kept McCoy in, but you're saying who's drop out, he would be the person I think's at risk.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I think I've never seen anyone cut on. He's just unbelievable and cut and go. And like I say, he can do everything. And if Buffalo are going to be anything next year, then he's going to have to be. We all had David Johnson on our lists, even though he missed an entire season pretty much, Chris, with injury. He was unbelievable a couple of seasons ago. We talked about being an offense. He was very much Arizona's offense. There's going to be more on his plate this year because, again, new quarterback, there's been a lot of changes, new coach in Arizona. Can we expect him to do it again, coming off, he's missed, it was a long injury that he had, he missed a lot of time.
Was it 30, 40, 50 snaps or something all season long? I mean, it wasn't a lot of football that he played, but sometimes it's going to be difficult for him. I think first and foremost, of course, it is coming back off an injury.
And I think I'm right saying he's holding out of OTAs because he wants a new contract, so he's not getting that. Not even. He's had no reps up to know what happens at training camp. We don't know. But
I like to back people, and I think David Johnson's talented enough that he can be that offense once again.
And I don't think we really need to go into Le'Veon Bell too much. We've waxed it on this show. And Ezekiel Elliott's kind of in the same boat in that he's coming from, like you mentioned before, from day one. He's the new type of back. He's massive, he catch everything, he's an amazing pass blocker, which is why I had him at 3. I think his pass blocking is like out of this world good, which again Dallas might need this year because there isn't much going on at wide receiver, so Dak might need a lot of time for players to get open. But was there anyone who, when you said you just sneaked Fournette in, you mentioned before about Hunt, Kamara, the rookies, was that a difficult decision or was it quite...
I went on favouritism, and I went on the type of back that I like to watch more. I think, listen, don't get me wrong, I'm probably in the minority here. The most exciting backs are the ones that break out the backfield and throw off 70-yard runs and score touchdowns all the time. But for me, I like the just the ground and pound, man. I like to see people grind it out, and I like to see that battle at the line, and that's the type of back that I enjoy watching. It's why, over the years I've always been drawn to those type of backs. So
Lynch type.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Speaking of the new age backs, then in terms of running backs last year, Jenno, the top 3 players in terms of total yards just as running backs were Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell and Alvin Kamara. If you had to decide which of those 3 might have the most all-purpose yards next season, bear in mind they're all in teams that are expected to be Super Bowl contenders, all 3 of them, who would you put your money on?
Le'Veon Bell. I didn't even think twice about this. I was very adamant because don't forget Le'Veon Bell missed the first 2 games last season. As far as I know, he's not got a suspension this season.
Nobody might.
There's plenty of time for him to get one. It's Le'Veon Bell. There's plenty of problems.
And he wants a new contract as well. Yeah.
So there's plenty of other things going on. But when you look at his games, the purpose yards compared to his, he's actually way ahead. As in, he's like a 200-yard game waiting to happen almost every week. He's just because of how good he is in the wide receiver, and that everyone's talked about how he delays in the run game and his time, and he's excellent. I think Gurley, he had a crappy and he's had a really good year. I think with them having Cooks, they're going to look to spread it out even more and see what more Goff can give them and not be as reliant on Gurley. And then Kamara's just lost Ingram. So if Ingram's for suspension, I don't think Kamara works if he's your only running back. I think you need the 2 of them for him to really be effective. So therefore, I think the person who's got the most to gain kind of thing is going to be Le'Veon Bell, whereas the other 2's got other things that counted but their yards.
What did you go with?
I went with Gurley again. I think he was second in rushing yards last season with about 1,300.
Most
he had second in rushing yards as well for a back with about 700. Obviously most in all-purpose yards. I think Sean McVay's offense will find a way to get him open. Now, the only doubts I had about it was actually on the defensive side for the Rams. Because I think with Peters and Talib coming in, they were averaging about 340 yards per game against, which obviously makes it a lot easier. You get on and you've got a lot of yards to make up, and it happens quite quickly with that Rams. So if that D's improved from what was it like, I don't know, 20th in the league to what they can potentially be with, you got Sue coming in to go with Donald. will they get as many yards to have to carry it? And that's the only question mark for me. It's not about whether Gurley can actually do it, it's whether their defence improves too much and therefore he's not going to get as many yards, if you know what I mean.
No, absolutely, makes perfect sense. The fact is, last year they had to score a lot of points because the defence wasn't particularly good. They got ran on a lot, which was weird because we expect some with Aaron Donald, then you see, but there again, if I'm a quarterback and Aaron Donald on the other team, I just keep giving it to him. I want absolutely no part of Aaron Donald running towards me. He's an absolute monster. I think I will go Le'Veon Bell as well, just because he's almost the. I know Antonio Brown's there, and they're all going to get their share of offense for sure, but I just think that they're going to have the more yards. I'm not sure still on Jared Goff. I really trust Sean McVay's offense. I really do. But it's 1 year in and everyone's seeing it now. And Todd Gurley out the backfield is no longer a surprise.
My thoughts on that, and I'm not disagreeing, but I think McVay will stay one step ahead of the game.
I think the thing though you've got to remember is everyone's now onto the fact that McVay is telling Goff what play and what to do before the scrimmage. Good defences are going to wait till the last possible moment, so he can't tell them what they're doing. So just by quick changes, that could eat up a lot of yards. Yeah, because
they were getting to the line, 30 seconds to go, and then the play was getting called with 15, then the thing was going off, wasn't it? And then Goff knew what the play was.
So if they wait till that last extra few seconds, which I think good teams can.
Goff should be able to deal with that now, you'd think. If he's going to be what people think he's going to be, he's going to have to take the reins at some point, isn't he? So yeah, maybe that's a point to Bell on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I just, my thinking was, I think you go into the Rams now and your number one aim is to stop Todd Gurley. And obviously that makes sense, but going into that, I still think, as much as you try and game plan in the week for the team coming ahead of you, I still think a lot, especially in your division, you can do your planning along. You can build your team around it. So other teams in that division know now that they have to build their team to try and stop the Rams. The difference is, I'm not sure Seattle are very good per se. I think they've got amazing linebackers, so Gurley might not do much against them. Are the Cardinals defensively any really that good? Are San Francisco that good? So
well, no, they're like nearly bottom.
So there's like 6 teams where he might go to work, but then the AFC North isn't exactly stout at the moment either.
Bell's been doing it for so long now, and people know about him, and they know that he's going to wait. But you can't stop him. No. You can't stop him. The only concern I'd have about Bell is he's having more touches than all the other running backs, and at some point, and I don't think it's this season. It is. 330 touches again last season.
It's a lot. On Alvin Kamara, I agree. The Mark Ingram effect's going to be something. His yards per touch is incredible because he doesn't play that many snaps.
He's like just under 7 yards per carry. He's like 6.7 yards per carry, I think. Something like that.
And he's as fast as anything. He's going to be unbelievable for a long time, you'd think. But
Jenno's right. He needs that other guy.
And they're probably going to find someone. So I think they've been bringing a few different ones in, but they're not. I mean,
they're not first.
They're not Mark Ingram, but we'll cross that one. But yeah, I think
Joe would work really well for them, like a Latavius Murray or something from us.
Yeah.
He'd be a good change up back to go in with Kamara.
I wonder what Mark Ingram had his best season of his life and then got done for steroids. So
wonder if they're
who knows? We'll see how he is.
Maybe they still time drug test him before then he's done nothing.
I thought we'll absolutely see how he is without the drugs in the system next season. How he gets on. We've been doing it a lot on the other shows of guys coming into their second and third years and stuff like that. Jenno, last year Dalvin Cook was phenomenal up until the point he got injured.
Russian leader.
He was absolutely phenomenal like Putin. He was unbelievable until the point he got injured, and when he got injured I remember me and you sitting here thinking that's the season done, and it kind of wasn't. Things went well. Ultimately still lost, but
we all was more heartbreak.
We all. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
we all ultimately were losers.
I enjoyed, killing your hopes.
Absolutely, and I caught back in the process. So Dalvin Cook was phenomenal. One guy in Joe Mixon, another second-year player who showed glimpses of talent. He just had absolutely nothing going on in Cincinnati in terms of what was around him. So, would you rather have? The question is, who will have a bigger impact next year, Jenno? Dalvin Cook coming into probably a stronger team, coming off the injury, or Joe Mixon, who we think probably might be a bit more talented, but ultimately he's in a worse.
You think he's more talented?
Okay, well, I think he's more talented. Coming into a slightly lesser situation.
I'm going for Dalvin Cook.
Thank you.
I've seen what Dalvin Cook can do. I'm still waiting for Joe Mixon. You can be waiting a long time for players to break out. And then the other thing is, Minnesota's offensive line is just much better. So give me Minnesota's offensive line, that's going to open up holes. Half what we felt with the problem with Mixon was there's just no holes to hit. Well, I haven't seen anything yet to say that there's going to be those holes next year.
Yeah, they've made changes, but we don't know how they're going to.
And I suppose the other thing, another reason that I've picked Cook, A, I think he's a better player, obviously, and B, is Mixon even going to be the number one running back? Do you know what I mean? When you're talking about bigger seasons, he's going to be behind Gio Bernard still, isn't he?
I don't think so. I think
you think he will be the RB1? Fair enough then. I know Cook will be, and I think that pairing with him and Murray could be sensational. Like, I
like both of them. Well, not personally, I don't want Joe Mixon for obvious reasons, but yeah, I think I will go Cook as well, just because I actually think Mixon's better, is more talented, but the situation for Cook is much stronger. If Cincinnati can do, they have actually tried to invest in their offensive line, because it was the worst single position group I think in football last year. It was absolute dog shit. I think us three might have given them a game, and we're not exactly in the
not in the
if it was anywhere above 20, we're not Cincinnati.
New York,
right. Cincinnati.
That's like the AFC North.
Yeah, we'll be fine in the snow. We don't put it on Miami away. We're not
any part of that. I won't even get
the Chargers.
Yeah, with the anti-New Orleans Saints, we want the cold and the snow. We want absolutely none of this dome, none of this heat. But yeah, I think Mixon, I think he's so talented. I think he would have been a top 5 pick, I'm convinced, had he not got, you know, the domestic violence issues and stuff, and he fell off a lot of teams' boards, and probably rightly so. But I do think Cook's going to be phenomenal, and that's why, as a Packers fan, I'm so excited for my team, because they've made some really good additions. Obviously the quarterback shouldn't have a broken collarbone anymore, but then you look at the Vikings, and although they've lost a little bit of a few pieces, they're getting a better quarterback, and they're getting their star running back, so it's going to be really difficult for Green Bay, and I'm with you. I think Cook's going to be really good. Saqoun Barkley, you mentioned them before, this is a tough one, but Alvin Kamara scored 14 touchdowns last year, by the way.
It's a great question.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. 14 touchdowns. Saqoun Barkley, the number 2 pick of the draft, so he's going to get a lot of action, you would think. 14 is the line for over/under touchdowns. Where do you think he might go, Jenno?
Under. I didn't think twice with this. I thought no, under. He'll get about 8 or 9. I don't think.
And that's still a really good season.
Which is an excellent season. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't trust that team. I mean, there's more going on today about people finding bodies in the room. So let's see what happens there. What with your defense? But I just don't trust the New York Giants to get enough touchdowns, to give them more than 14.
14's a lot, Chris, isn't it? 14's a lot.
I think it's under as well. I think there's a few reasons for that. I think when you look back to running back rookies over the years, in recent years, it's not even that recent. Edger and James is up there with a great season. You've obviously got Sanders and all that. Like, and then you've got like Zeke Elliott from a couple of years ago. Then you've got Kamara from last season. These are outstanding players and outstanding seasons. Now, Saqoun Barkley, he's going to be the workhorse of that team. I think he's got to be the workhorse, and I don't think you're going to be able to stack the box against him because of the threat of Odell Beckham Jr. on the outside. But he's not scoring 14 touchdowns.
14 is a lot.
Not for that team. Not for that team.
No, 14 is a lot of touchdowns. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 10, you know, around that number. So I think double digits, but I think 14. I mean, it's unbelievable actually to think that someone could get that far. But what I would say is that it depends what his role is, because if he's going to be pass catcher, running back, goal line back, then it's definitely in play. I mean, all you need is a couple. And trust me, if anyone who hasn't watched any college football, he can score from anywhere. He's got the Alvin Kamara-ness about him. He's much bigger than Alvin Kamara, but he can score from absolutely anywhere. Obviously, again, college football is a bit different. But what I would say is that if Saqoun Barkley gets into space, see you later. No, you're not going to catch him. So 14's a lot, but I think he's going to see a lot of action. I think. I know people talk about everything else, but I think you're going to see a lot of Beckham on slants, and I think you're going to see a ton of Saqoun Barkley. But yeah, 14's absolutely ridiculous numbers, and we'll see how he goes. Other than that, the only other 2 guys I want to speak about briefly are, funny enough, Green Bay's running backs, because I feel...
Oh, that's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Mike McCarthy recently, Chris come out and said he's definitely going to go running back by committee, so they've got Jones, they've got Williams, they've got a bit of Ty Montgomery as well. The Patriots have been doing it for years. Your you've been brought up on a team who's very much as a one.
Just got one guy.
It's Adrian Peterson and then it's Dalvin Cook. Last year it was a bit of Murray and McKinnon, but that was mainly because of injuries. That wasn't by design.
And Murray already got a snap before Cook went down.
Exactly. Yeah, it was going to be Cook and a bit of McKinnon in passing situations. But do you have a preference of if you were a coach which way you would go? Because we've seen. I tend to think this committee thing never really works, but yet the New England Patriots keep getting to the Super Bowl.
Nah, it can work. Earth, Wind and Fire from the Giants, the early noughties or whatever it was, or mid noughties. I think, for me personally, I would always try and do it as a committee because I don't want to. If there's already one position in your offense that your entire season is based around, you don't want to make it two. You know, if your quarterback goes down, your season's ended. Or if your running back goes down, your season's ended. And I would always like that balance. The only thing is, from a financial side, can you afford to pay multiple running backs? And that's where I think it comes down to frigging cap space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting 2 or 3 really top draw running backs has been very difficult in years gone by, but now the running back market's dropped to an almost all-time low. You're actually able to do it a little bit more, which is why more teams are starting to do it.
Green Bay got 2 rookies and a wide receiver as well, so they don't like that. And even you look at Ingram and Kamara's a rookie, or you look at the Patriots, they always had some. You know, look at it, Blunt earning $1 million, and now they're going to have a.
How many running backs you can get a good second contract now? Yeah. You know what I mean? And they end up franchise tags or messing around like Lev Bell and all that type of stuff because you don't know how many more years they can play for at that level. But you get that rookie deal in if you can get the 5th-year option on an early round, first rounder. You're absolutely
franchise tagged them for a year and then let them go, kind of.
And then they're just approaching 30 and they're over there. It's sly, that's why the running back market's popped. Yeah,
I'm with you, mate. I think it's a cool business, but it is. You've lived the life of a committee back for a long time. It's ultimately, you know, won loads of stuff that's been successful. But do you ever get frustrated thinking I would just love an Adrian Peterson or whoever else, a Le'Veon Bell, where it's just we would love to have a.
I haven't seen that since Corey Dillon.
It's been a long time.
And we started with Maroney and he was awful. The thing I think is it all depends on who your quarterback is. If you've got an elite quarterback, then you need a committee because you need them to be. You need different running backs to do different things, to be different chess pieces because you know you're going to be throwing it all around the place anyway. I think if you don't have an elite quarterback, that's when you want the running back who can take the majority and he can be the dominant driving force of your team. So I think it actually, like everything, it just comes down to who your quarterback is and what you want to do with it because they're the person who's going to hand it off and they're the person who's going to make the decisions for you. So when you're Tom Brady, you want a committee. Because you're not going to give anybody 30 snaps a game. Whereas again, if you have a lower ranked quarterback, you're Blake Bortles, then you need Leonard Fournette because he needs to just be running into traffic times.
I would say if someone's going to get that many snaps, it's because you want them to wear the defensive side out, so that it might be 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, but then there's a 20-yarder in there. Whereas if it's I'm with you, and that's why Green Bay haven't had a running game for a long time. To be honest, I mean they had a season of Eddie Lacy before he found where the burgers were. But other than that. The Packers have really struggled on that. You know, I think they won the Super Bowl with James Starks. You know, just a fella. Yeah, basically.
LeGarrette Blount's won the last 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he has. He's. I mean, that's Detroit to win the Super Bowl by all accounts.
3 of the last 4.
Detroit to now win the Super Bowl by all accounts. But the Packers got Jones, Williams, and Monk. I'm excited. I think. Having seen those guys with Brett Hundley, I would like to think that if you put Rodgers in there and there's a threat of a running game as well, which they haven't had. You know, the sky's the limit, hopefully. But yeah, it's one of those philosophical questions in that you can't have everything. You can't really pay your star quarterback and then pay Adrian Peterson. There's or that type of back. It's really difficult. So yeah, let us know in the comments below. By the way, guys, all of your questions. We're off to go and eat some ice cream and pour water over our sweaty faces. We'll do tight ends next week, and we promise we're not going anywhere for a couple of weeks unless we're dead because we've melted. Chris and Jenno, thanks very much. I'll see you next week. Ta-ra.